2024 NFL draft is over, so screw that crap. We're on to 2025 with a way too early mock draft. I'm joined by my good friend, my partner in crime, the yin to my yang, the pasta to my sauce, Alex from HAILMARY Sports. How you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. I am an addict of the draft, just as you are. So let's get our fix on.
Yeah. So we're gonna do this on PFF. We didn't mess with the whatever order they had. We're just gonna go through it. I mean, this is more so to just showcase some of the talent we're gonna be looking at this summer during our summer evals. For one, I don't have these guys ranked really at all. I just know, hey, I know this guy's probably gonna go high. He did really well this past season. There's some traits and whatnot, but haven't really done a lot of a deep dive. Stay tuned for the summer because every week or another, I'm gonna be dropping positional rankings as I go through position by position by position. But you gave me the freaking odds, so I guess I ought to get this sucker started. I will try to stay true with scenarios. Like if this team's drafting this high, then it probably would want to do something like this. But not for the Panthers. I believe in Bryce Young. I'm willing to wait for one more year. One more year of Bryce Young, but we're here drafting in one. And I'm not going to lie, Alex, I still have a little bit of no idea what I want to do here per se.
Okay.
I do have a feeling this quarterback class coming up, we're not going to see 6 go in the first 12.
Okay.
I might be willing to put money on that. Maybe not.
I would.
But I do like some of the defenders. Yep. And the Carolina Panthers, as of right now, edge-wise, it's they got Clowney. He's probably there for a year. I don't know what even if it's a 2-year deal, they could probably get off it after a year. Then they got DJ Wonham. Give me more edge talent. I think James Pierce is gonna be a stud. He's gonna be a top 5 pick. I'm gonna go with him out of Tennessee.
James Pierce coming off the board. Yeah, that guy's fantastic. Popped up last year. I was a big Tyler Barron guy, and then this dude just pops out of nowhere.
Louisville.
Yeah, he was originally supposed to go to Ole Miss, and then he transferred to Louisville.
Yeah,
love that. Yeah. NIL, baby. But yeah, James Pierce came out of nowhere. Everybody's like, who is this guy who's continued to rack up pressures? And you know what? He's a damn good talent. But at number 2, he's not half a bad. At number 2, though, we got the New England Patriots. Obviously, I'm not going to give up on Drake May because, of course, the better quarterback in Joe Milton.
You got a good backup plan there.
You got the backup all ready to go. But regardless, deep down, I want to pair up Christian Gonzalez with Will Johnson. However, you drafted I could do it. However, you drafted a right tackle in Caden Wallace, which I adored him as a guard. One of those positions is not open. Your vision for him was being a left tackle. If you're at number 2 overall, there's most likely a strong indication that did not work out. So I'm going to be going Will Campbell, star tackle out of LSU, and then maybe Caden Wallace will be able to get a shot at one of the guard roles as some contracts come due. Not for
okay. I was a little worried you might go the receiver route there.
I debated it.
Okay, well, I'm going to do it here for the Denver Broncos. Courtland Sutton is probably gone after this next season. I'm going to go with Luther Burden. I absolutely adore this cat. I think, before I get into the deep dive, I already have a feeling he's going to be my number 1 wide receiver. But we'll see. There's some interesting names up in here.
Before you do that, let me ask you, don't you think there's enough thinner slot-ready receivers on the team, though? He's built essentially like a bigger bulk. Like he's essentially a much better version of Malachi Corley. If you think about it, he's like 5'10", 210 pounds. Like, don't you want to get some size?
I'm not worried about it.
He's a good player. Just there's a lot of good receivers.
There's a lot of good receivers, but I love the idea of eventually Mims put it on that, or not Mims. Mims is going to be in the slot, but Troy Franklin put it on that size because he's got the frame too. He's 6'2". I think he was at 183. Get him up to 190, then you're feeling a little more good about him. And anyway, he's a deep threat. So Luther Burden, this yak monster that honestly could attack the field on all 3 levels. I'll take it.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, Luther is my number 6 player in the class, so pretty hard to disagree. Right now, he is number 1. But I have a strong feeling my number 2 wide receiver, who is tied number 1, might come off the board here. The Titans will be having an unfortunate departure, most likely of DeAndre Hopkins. Say what you will about that. But the Titans didn't really use their draft capital to address that future issue, which in my opinion is fine. I think it's fine. So I'm going to be going after my number 1/2 receiver. He is 6'5". He is buttery smooth as a route runner, over 200 pounds as well. And this team put some real fights up versus a lot of very talented, including, actually, I don't know if they beat them, but they got down to the wire versus one of the championship level teams. That team is Arizona, and that's Tetrioa McMillan. He is fantastic, aggressive, smooth, high IQ, good hands. I'm a big fan of what he brings to the table.
I am going to be curious because I always wondered about his launch speed.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong, man. Smooth as butter.
Yeah.
So Danny Dimes. Tata, goodbye. It was a good run. Maybe he goes off this year. Who knows? But if they're picking at 5, I'm assuming he's not.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's not. I don't know if I'm going to have a top 10 quarterback yet. And there's a couple of guys that maybe like Carson Beck, but I feel like even that, he's still got to develop quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Milroe has the upside.
He has a longer way to develop.
Like Shadur, I think has. I don't think it's high end, like in terms of his arm talent.
Yeah,
like you're not gonna see the zip necessarily on everything,
right?
But he can function as this point guard, which is perfect. Stinking Neighbors is a yak machine. I think he had like over 30 forced missed tackles again this year or last year.
Freak. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Shadur.
Okay. I'm a big fan of Carson Beck, of what he could be. I'm projecting him to be my number 1 QB, but Shadur.
He's got, it's for me, it's just those 3 in the run-in.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, depends how Beck develops. Shadur, I think, is that nice sweet ground of not necessarily all the tools, but does function in the offense really well there at Colorado. And then Jalen Milroe, if sky's the limit, man.
Yeah.
This guy's just got to start hitting the big side of a barn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, dude. Milroe, his mechanics are so garbo, but I've actually seen a lot of videos of him working on that. So certainly a good opportunity and a good showcase of the fact that he's willing to put in work when he doesn't have to. To me, that's a big plus. For the Commanders, I'm running this card up to the podium. That's Will Johnson. I still don't fully trust their boundary corner situation, and he's my number 1 player in the class. So you got to go BPA at a very, very, very valuable position.
Short and sweet. Didn't even have time to get on the RLAD page for the Cardinals.
Okay, I can continue to evolve off that comment. I mean, Will Johnson has been a really, really consistent corner 1 at this point of the draft. He'd be there for a minimum of 2 years. I don't know who would be taking number 1 corner reps when he was a true freshman. But I mean, he's been making an impact since his true freshman year. Last year, he just started going off, genuinely one of the best corner talents in the league. Sometimes he gets toasted, but when somebody has a lot of tape that's fantastic, and then you see people trying to find the reps that are poor and like posting like 1 rep here, 1 rep there of him slipping up, it's a good sign. When you see a player having 1 good rep and then 1 good rep, but not having like a very consistent amount, and people are just trying to do some propaganda, it's usually a sign that maybe you should look at the tape and look at everything. So Will Johnson's that guy who's consistently good with a couple slip-ups.
All right, Cardinals, I've made a decision. Dude, this defensive side of this draft has the chance to be special.
The exact opposite of what the should we just say go all defense to start out?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, don't see an offensive player till 15.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with Mason Graham here.
Oh.
Yeah, the Cardinals currently have a lot of depth at starting positions. A lot of depth type of players at starting positions.
They do.
Let's get that true home record, dude. I think Mason Graham, there's a chance this guy's like what we thought with Jalen Carter.
Mm,
Just keep
okay.
him off the road.
Mm. I don't know if I'll go there yet, but we'll see. We'll see.
Dude, he
That's
was,
for the summer.
dude, his motor though.
He is a dog, but
He's a
we'll see.
woof woof. He's a Wolverine actually, but
This is true. This is true. Anyways, for the Minnesota Vikings at number 8, highly doubt they'll be here. I mean, they're a Super Bowl caliber roster that dropped in maybe a raw quarterback, but luckily that raw quarterback has one instant competency, and that's keeping an offense in rhythm. So I highly doubt that this would be the spot for where they'll land. Of course, this is the order from PFF, so keep that in mind. If this were to happen, you could look at another QB. I would not. I mean, there's still such good talent on the board. And I mean, I don't know if you could see a team at 8 pass on Travis Hunter. And when you look at it, he's big. He's not like the biggest guy, 6'1", 185, but he can add a lot of frame to that mass, especially if he's not playing 100 plays. Hi, Coach. And, oh, hello to you too, my good sir. Basically, you're going to be getting someone who has a crazy motor, crazy amount of stamina, as well has room to be able to add extra mass, great ball skills, and he could potentially be a two-way player for you.
All right, very nice. Raiders, man. Oh man, and I said I'm not like really into the quarterback class.
It's a good spot for one though.
Yeah, and the Raiders are going to be in the market for one. They truly are. So you might have to take a shot. The question is, who? I think I'll go Carson Beck here again. Not completely sold on, huh?
You said who? I was like, was that an owl?
Who? Oh, thanks for getting in on that, buddy. I'm gonna go Carson Beck, man. There ain't no way he's gonna have a bad year this year. He was already getting a little bit of top 50 love if he did decide to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that just keeps on going. Oh, you don't like that, bud?
Well, no, he doesn't like it because he's a Chiefs fan. And that's a good move for the Raiders. Carson Beck at the moment is my number 9 player on my board. Number 10.
Isn't that convenient for pick 9?
It is. It's perfect value. At pick 10 for the Seattle Seahawks, it's a weird spot to be in because I don't see too many positions that I would say is glaring needs. Very hard to imagine the Seahawks being here. But again, PFF's going to PFF, and it's a unique draft order. Things happen that we do not expect. I'm going to go after someone who's planning on playing inside linebacker, but could also play really, really well as an edge rusher. That's Harold Perkins out of LSU. A little bit on the lighter side, but this is best player available. This is a crazy motor player who he's an absolute dog, big hitter as well. Some people believe he could be the number 1 pick in the draft if he adds weight.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good in off ball as well.
He was, but we know how special he could be if he's used in a Micah Parsons role. He's going to be drafted and then transitioned like Micah.
I am curious to see what his measurements will end up being.
I know, because he's moving to inside linebacker. I'm a little bit concerned because he's 220, but it's like the talent, man, the talent.
Yeah. So my heart here wants to go with Benjamin Morrison because I think he's going to be a top 10 guy for me.
He's my number 2. He's just 6 foot 185 or 180.
But
he's smaller.
Yeah, but my brain's telling me I should probably go with an edge rusher. They got Chase Young on a 1 year. They got Cameron Jordan in his twilight years. So maybe I should go there. The question is, do I want to go with a guy that maybe could jump up boards? It's a thought.
You looking at Mike Hill?
No, I'm looking at Nick. Was it Scorton?
Scorton,
transferring from Purdue to A&M.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that transition too.
Yeah, right.
A&M lost some guys too, so there's a big role there for him.
Yeah, I could just sit and take Mikael Williams, and also, I mean, I am curious, but like what? Because Penn State, you got what's the cat's name?
Abdul.
Yeah, Abdul. He's gonna be moving to edge full time now. And I'm kind of it is interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how that works out. I think I'll probably keep it simple, stupid. You know what? Screw it. No, I'm going for it. Nick Scorton.
Okay. By the way, on PFF, the schools are not fully updated. This is as of last year. So PFF, do your job. Update the roster,
Hey,
please.
it's fresh after the draft, man. I'll give him benefit of the
They're the
doubt.
ones who are advertising it. Just saying.
Eh,
But we're trying to educate the people as well. And sometimes even your boy can slip up on that. Regardless, pick number 12 for the Buccaneers. You know, again, going to be very difficult to see them here at number 12. But Benjamin Morrison's my number 2 player in the class. It's going to be very tough to pass on him here.
Yeah, it is, huh?
Very tough to pass on him. They didn't really get a genuine contingency plan at boundary corner. And most likely, if you have an elite defense, it's going to be very difficult for you to be at number 12 because they do have some really good pieces still on offense. I'm going to go Ben Morrison.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, it's going to be tough not to take him to Indy. Like, I just knew it.
Oh, what do you mean tough? I was ready to send it.
I saw that out of the corner of my eye, dude. I was like, "Oh, I got you."
Right, I'm gonna click their safeties here because sometimes these guys listed as safeties, they might go to corner.
Yeah.
What do you got? Cario Davis. He's out. He's not. He's in the transfer portal, but he's not officially at Washington, is he?
Correct. As of what I'm aware of right now.
Yeah, I think Denzel will jump up, but I still think I'll probably start out the year with him as like a back end to middle first round guy.
Right.
Dude, Jahdae Barron, dude. I forgot he returned.
Who?
The Texas slot guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Golly. Kobe Bryant. I'm kind of hoping he breaks out. He was fine last year for Kansas.
That guy's a beast. Like
he's also
like
he's a toothpick.
Yeah, he's a toothpick, but he can lay the wood. There might not be much wood to lay, but he lays it.
Devin Harris is an interesting name. He's currently at UTSA,
Mm-hmm.
but a guy that was highly recruited out of high school from like A&M and LSU. So
okay,
I'm kind of curious to like deep into like look into that and see why he ended up leaving, just in case.
Yeah,
you know, see if he killed somebody.
At the
yeah, got to do your due diligence.
Yeah, I know, right? At this point, might as well.
Yeah. So I think I'm actually going to go back to the defensive interior. Yeah, Gus Bradley loves to rush just four. He's like one of the least blitzing guys in the NFL. So you got to make sure you're getting pressure from your front four.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, Deion Walker's kind of the guy, right?
He's such a monster. Dude,
he is a monster.
He popped off as a true freshman. This guy who actually stuck on my watch list for a while now.
Oh, dang, man. There's a couple of guys I wish they included on here. I'm interested in.
I know. The Colts are really stacked too. It's going to be very tough for them to be at the spot.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Walker.
Yeah. Deon.
Is it Deon or is it Dion?
D-Walk. Who cares?
D-Walk.
I call him Deon, but it could be Dion. Dione. Dione.
Dione Vaki?
Dione Vaki. Didn't they had to trade up to get him, right? The Lions? They had to spend like a few for four.
I didn't love the Lions trades, but like dude, straight up the Lions, when I was going back and like actually sitting and thinking of okay, how am I gonna grade each team? Strap up, the Lions freaking draft was a roller coaster.
Oh yeah. Unbelievable start.
Oh.
And then
yeah. Why are we trading?
And then all of a sudden they end up snagging 2 elite players in the 6th, man.
Wingo, dude, I know. Brad Holmes, calm down. I needed a cigarette after that draft ride.
Dude, that was crazy. Pittsburgh at 14. I'm assuming that they would bring back Justin Fields on a cheaper contract. It's just not the class to go after a QB. So looking at the options that I think the Steelers neglected in the draft, a boundary corner number 2 certainly is one of them. And think about the length and the size that you'll have with Joey Porter Jr. and Decario Davis. I think Joey's like, 6'2", 6'3". Decario is 6'4", and he has a lot of production there. So I would love to get
that boy be big.
Yeah.
That boy be big.
No fly zone. You're not going to get mossed unless it's like Justin Jefferson. And it doesn't matter who you put there at corner. are going to get mossed. So I love that for the Steelers.
All right.
One of my guys.
I already started looking for who I was getting next, and I gotta go back now real quick.
You got a little anxious there.
Oh, I got a little anxious. So I think I know where I'm going. They went
Yeah.
defensive heavy early on in this past draft. I think I'm going to go the opposite route. They
Mm,
didn't really get a option at tackle.
right.
KT Leviston, he's going to guard. That's
Yep.
where he's going to be. Not saying he's going to start there or anything. He's going to be depth, but
Yep.
just in case, got to cover my bases here. Larrick Jackson, I think, is a better backup than starter. Joe Noteboom. I know the restructure his contract, but still too much money for me. The question is, what tackle I want to go? Kelvin Banks is the name that jumps out to me. And I think stinking the other guy, Emory Jones, actually plays right tackle for LSU.
Yeah.
So
Will Campbell's left.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with Banks.
Yeah. The tackle class, much more underwhelming than this past year. It's just,
At least early on, but they have some potential guys.
I mean, I know. Like Jonas Savagnier is a fun one. He's like 335 right tackle. Emory Jones, talented right tackle. Johnny Cornelius, I think he's a guard tackle hybrid in the NFL. Josh Simmons looked kind of like Swiss cheese. So, I don't know about that, but there's some definitely high rising talents, but a lot of them are also right tackles. So there's really two guys at the top at left. They might end off getting off the board pretty damn early. But at 16 for the Jaguars, it's another team that I did not see truly address their boundary corner position. I didn't like that. I was really excited for them. They got Jerry and Jones, an absolute monster, a real press man corner in the slot. I think that, he did play boundary before, but, his success came in the slot. I am going to go on a limb and go Denzel Burke here out of Ohio State. He got better and better as the season went on. Unbelievable true freshman year. Slight sophomore, or was it a great sophomore year and a slight junior slump?
No, it was a good freshman start. The sophomore slump where he was also banged up.
Right. And then junior year, he did pretty damn well. And I was going to be putting him higher and higher on my board. And I'm happy he decided to return because this corner class became incredible. And now we got some good talent this year.
All right. Denzel Burke off the board. Ta-ta, bye-bye. Have a good time. Okay. Where my mind goes to first, where it flutters to, is tackle for them.
Is Conklin coming up?
Yeah, Conklin. So they already got DeJuan Jones for that. Yeah. But also they got to decide if they're going to extend Wills, and I don't think they will.
Okay.
I don't think they will. I don't know if James Hudson's any more than a
backup. A solid
backup. Yeah. So Ernest Green's probably the next guy I'm thinking of.
Okay.
He was playing left tackle there while Mims was over at right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Interesting. 900 snaps, roughly 855. And then he only allowed 14 pressures all year.
Yeah.
It's not bad
for a first-year starter.
No.
On a side note, I did almost contemplate quarterback.
It's not out of the question. It's just not the class to go QB.
As far as we know, again, a year changes a lot of things.
Fair. Well, it depends. That's a big gap. It's a big gap to jump for some of these QBs.
Yeah, you want to know a low key? I don't think they have him on here, but a low key. No, it's not. You might be a mid to late day 3 guy for me.
Really? Okay. I have faith in him.
You gotta be able to be accurate somewhat. But low key, a guy that I think could maybe sneak into it is West Virginia quarterback Garrett Green.
Dude, that guy is so good. Talk about stat pattern through the run too.
Yeah. Low key, West Virginia was mad fun to watch last year.
They were.
You're the Bears.
Oh, you went Ernest Green? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sending it.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, I was going to see a little curveball.
I have firmly talked myself out of quarterback.
Okay, for Chicago at 18, address left tackle contingency plan already with Karan Amagaji. I think that's going to be their vision for the future there. And at 18, I feel like that's something they're willing to exercise. Edge rusher 2, I don't know how much I love getting or having to put all my faith in Austin Booker. I think he's a really good
I mean,
rotational guy.
you're not going to know what you have in him for a year or two.
That's also very true. So for me, I'm down between Abdul Carter because, I mean, he's a freak of nature. 6'3", 250 pounds, perfect size for an edge rusher. You also have that linebacker ability to where you can end up even dropping him into coverage. Love that versatility. Or I debate going Emeka Ibuka here. You're going to be losing Keenan Allen most likely. There's still going to be a need for that number 3 wide receiver. But I'm going to go Abdul. I think that edge vacancy is a little bit larger.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
He's a monster, man.
I
was going to go
take him
Michael
for the Chargers.
Yeah, I was going to go Michael personally, but I mean, I just love that flexibility that Abdul brings to the table.
All right. Any teams with 2 first-round picks?
Not this year.
Yo, we'll see how long that stays like that.
I know. Some teams will trade their first just to get competitive. Did you see, by the way, talking about a team that we were debating sending their first this year, the Bills with Keon Coleman? Did you see his press conference?
I haven't. I've seen people react to it. I haven't listened to it yet.
The dude is so funny. He's like, "Where do you think I got this jacket?" And this guy's talking like Burberry or something. He's like, "Macy's clearance rack. They have all the colors." I'm like, I love this man. Like, I'm telling you right now, this guy's a Hall of Famer. Like, I'm gonna put my money on it just because of what he said.
Strange, you didn't give him that Hall of Famer grade.
I gave him a wide receiver 1 grade.
He didn't give him the Hall of Famer grade. You have a grade.
I didn't see that.
You have a grade that says Hall of Famer.
Hey, he would have got a massive it factor if I knew that this man was a Macy's clearance shopper. Like, I love it. I love it, man.
All right. So I do have backup options, and I'm down to 2.
Okay.
And they're both Michigan, which is perfectly. It's Harbaugh, 2 guys he coached last year. I'm thinking Colston Loveland, because right now the tight end position for the Chargers is sweet booty cheeks.
Is struggling.
But I think they could go with interior because I actually think this cat has a chance to be special as well. And I mean, he's playing next to Graham, so why not? Dude, Kenneth Grant. I saw this man. This man's like 340, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw him run down a running back from behind, like 20 yards down the field across the formation.
I haven't watched him yet. If that's true, he's gonna be a my guy.
I'm trying to remember what game. It was the same week as the Alabama-Kentucky game because I remember watching that game prior or after. I only remember this because my dad was in town and we were watching football.
November 11th, 2023. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's 11/11. That's sick. That's why. Okay. You haven't made a pick yet though, right?
No. I'm probably going with Grant though.
11/11 Michigan football game. 2023. I'm really looking this up right now. Penn State.
It was Penn State.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a game I'm easily watching, so we will definitely be seeing that.
Dude,
holy Toledo.
It I was like, look at that man, because my first indication was like, oh, he's on my draft board. Oh, he's a true sophomore.
Oh, 340. What a monster. All right, so you're going Kenneth?
Yeah, I'm snagging him.
All right. I respect that, dude. That's a name that because I posted my own 2025 mock draft, which has definitely gone a bit different from this, so that's pretty cool. But Kenny Grant will be definitely featured next time. I'm excited for that. So, pick 20, Texans. Oh, I mean, you guys moved up to be able to snag a very, very high chemistry player in Cade Stover. Shows that you care about chemistry, right? I am trying to convince myself to go Emeka Ibuka here. Just spoiler alert. I'm very glad that, did you hear about the shooting that happened? Tank Dell.
Yeah, Tank Dell. So, yeah, but he was fine.
Good. Yeah. Very, very happy. I saw that at first. It said Tank Dell got shot. Of course.
I know. I didn't see the follow. Like, I didn't read the follow. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Stupid ass Twitter accounts. I swear. I mean, I hate the fact they do that, but they got me to click, so they're doing something right.
Yeah.
Just ethically wrong, but very happy he's okay. Regardless, you're going to be losing Stephon Diggs after 1 year, and I personally think Emeka Egbuka has that instant synergy with CJ. It's a perfect fit. So we're going to be going Emeka Egbuka.
Oh, dang it, dude. I went our lads, and since we were talking about the Texans,
Yeah.
went to the Texans, and I was like, what am I going to get now? All right, Jets.
You're looking ahead.
I'm not ready to. I'm hoping maybe you get another year out of Aaron.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. And I'm not ready to pull the trigger on a quarterback again.
Dude, they have Jordan Travis.
I'm not ready to pull the trigger on a quarterback again. And so, what are my options, man? Like, I could look for that right tackle. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Depends how they feel about Carter Warren long term.
Right.
I could jump to the defense. I'm really hoping Stiggers ends up being like
a steal.
Replacing Reed, because Reed is on the final year of his contract. And DJ Reed's one of the more underrated corner twos in the league. I want to just put that out there. They should fully bring him back as long as everything goes good this year.
Yeah.
But ooh, man, if Perkins was on the board, that might be a just
Harold
click in and forget it.
Yeah. Harold Perkins. Yeah, no shit. If he's on the board at 255, I'm making sure I'm running up to the podium.
Just to mention, the safety class is a lot better this upcoming year.
Absolutely.
Still a little wary on where do I want to take a safety in round one? Like Starks is good, Winston's good, this cat from Iowa's good. Watts, I still think is going to firmly day 2, but turnover machine.
Yeah.
Rod Moore. Isn't Sab like Alabama or something?
I feel like he's replacing that key kid who's the Mr. Irrelevant. I think you're right.
Okay. And this Hunter Wohler cat,
he's a beast.
Yeah,
he's a dog. He's top 40 for me right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go safety though. I'm not. Funny enough, I think I'm going a position where I swore they were gonna go, and I actually lost money on this. I think I'm going to go with Colson Loveland.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the tight end positioning, am I?
You should. Because I clicked it. But, I mean, to be fair, though, Colson Loveland's a really good tight end. I think I took him earlier than this in my mock draft.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he's going to be in that back end of the first round area. Like, he feels like he's not a Brock Bowers. Like,
no.
You are.
No.
But I think he'll be in that, like, realm of conversation with, like, how Sam Laporta was back into early second, or Dalton Kincaid was late first. I think he's going to be in that type of tier.
Yeah.
So
they say he's 20 years old. Like he just turned 20. So he's going to be roughly 21 at the draft. So very young as well. He was a big part of Michigan's offense. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Pick 22 for Atlanta. Shoot. I mean, I feel like they didn't properly address many positions that I think they should have. I don't think they did a good job having a contingency plan at wide receiver. Luckily for us, we got Evan Stewart, who transferred to Oregon, and then Trey Harris as well, who's a very dominant receiver. Not many corners fared too well against him. I do think that might be the route I go. They'd still, for multiple years, have not had a good contingency plan there. So damn.
Both those positions. Make the call.
Those two positions, I don't see the value in corner at the moment, except for Ephesians Prysock, which I really like Ephesians. I think he's over at Washington now. I'm going to go Trey Harris, though. 6'2", over 200 pounds.
I love Trey Harris.
He's a dog. You need a contingency plan in place for the receiving core.
Okay. I already know where I'm going to go with this pick.
Oh, yeah.
What
you doing?
Do you know where I'm going?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
It was more like question mark.
Oh, yeah. So we didn't address interior in this class. Both sides. Defensive interior or offensive interior.
That's fair.
I have a feeling that the interior class offensively this upcoming year is not going to be great. It's going to be underwhelming.
Very underwhelming.
But there is a guy that does catch the eye, and it's Tyler Booker out of
Mm.
Alabama. He's a left guard. Plug him in, please. I'll take
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And this is me trying. I wanna highlight the interior class. I'm not saying he's a first rounder. I want to highlight the interior class. We need an interior class. I think this, based on what I've seen thus far, again, I'll get into the nitty gritty during the summer. That's probably the closest that we're going to get to a first round interior player.
Just admit it. You hate Tyler Booker and all Dolphins fans. For the Packers,
I'll tell you, Dolphins Twitter is toxic as hell. I bet you there's like 50% of them want me going like a quarterback.
If y'all are 23, it's worth like.
I mean, if we're at 23, then we paid Tua.
Yeah, like it's pretty obvious. But for Green Bay at 24, it looks like a lot went right for them. That's cool. They've fully addressed the offensive line, in my opinion. Maybe they can go left tackle, but not right here. There's nothing that I would think is remotely valuable enough, especially at left tackle. They still have not addressed boundary corner in the way that I think would be where I would personally go. And so I'm actually going to go the one player who probably we will not be able to see on the mock draft simulator for a hot second. I'm going to go Ephesians Prysock, other cornerback out of I'm going to use Iden White, by the way, as my placeholder, but cornerback formerly out of Arizona. Now I think he's at Washington.
All right.
He's a very physical corner as well. I do love that about him, but that defense was pretty damn awesome. Very underrated team from last year.
All right. So again, Dallas Cowboys. I'm here trying to highlight what next year's class may be.
Okay.
And I firmly don't think I would do this, but it could be a 2023 draft scenario where we see a running back or two go in the first round. Because the running back class is that freaking good. Truly is. So I'm going to highlight one of those backs here. It's so good. I don't know which one to go with. Golly.
They don't even have the Penn State guys on here too.
Yeah. Well, at least they got Genty. I think I'm going to go with Quinshawn Judkins, though. He's going to be at Ohio State this year.
Ohio State.
Yep. Yeah. He was, tied for fourth in forced missed tackles this past season.
And a deep RBBC, too.
Yeah, exactly. And, exactly. That's an even better point.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and snag him there to highlight it for you Cowboys fans. Not saying you may do this.
You should, though. I mean, if you're at 25 and the reason that you're at 25 and not at 32 is because of your running game,
it's probably going to be because of Dak, who is probably getting moved on from after next season.
All right.
Call me crazy.
Trade him at the deadline then.
I don't think Trey Lance is him.
Oh, I don't either.
So like I would probably try to swing on Jalen Milroe here personally. But again, this is stupid ignorant. We're not going to be at this juncture until next year.
Oh yeah.
Everything could change.
This is fun. This is for
it's
fun. Eagles could snag Malachi Starks here, but it breaks my heart because it's like the one position they don't need at this point. And they could use him in the slot. They don't really have a contingency plan in slot at the moment. I would never use the elite corner talents that you drafted for slot. So keep that in mind. But when you analyze who is going to be on the roster as of next year, you're going to be losing Sweat as well as BG. You're going to be down to Jalix Hunt and then Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff. Those are going to be your primary edge rushers. There are some really good ones on the board. And one of those is 265 pounds at 6'5", who was one of the best, if not the number one player from his high school class. It is Michael Williams, true junior, now out of Georgia. It's another Georgia player too, but still, it's a player who has untapped potential. He's my number 10 player in the class.
Okay, I got to put on my race car helmet for this pick. Dan Campbell. Man, if I was Dan Campbell, I'd be like 6 feet or 6 feet.
6 feet under
I'd be like 6 or 8 inches taller and much more muscly.
and longer.
Yeah, dude. Man, so there, I am hell bent. I think we're going edge here,
Yep.
and I think I'm gonna go with JT Tuimoloau.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he takes that jump next year. I'm hoping because the tools are there: length, power, size. He's got a good first step at like what 270.
Okay.
Now, if he puts it all together, could be masterful. If he doesn't, could be Darius Robinson.
And that's, I mean,
And
it's a
that's not
solid
bad.
range.
He went in the
That's a solid
first.
range. I mean, he went at 27. Darius did.
Hey, call me Nostradamus.
And absolutely. Okay, for the Bengals, it's killing me that Malachi Stark's still on the board, but this is just one of those teams I don't really see that either. The Bengals do an excellent job in terms
It's
of being
also
able
the
to
safety position.
Yeah, but they do such a good job stacking that safety position full of dudes. I do think that, they're one of the teams that could be in the market for an RB1. This is the class to do it. Maybe it's not in the first because,
Oh
again, it's
wow.
lower value position. What?
Oh no. I'll let you cook.
Well, I mean, feel free to disagree. I'm trying to see other viable options. I can go Evan
Buddy,
Stewart here.
I will always disagree with running back in the first. I'm not the
I
right person to talk to.
That's fair. I do think Evan Stewart could play the slot if you have what's his name? Jermaine Burton play the boundary. And Evan Stewart's a damn good receiver. Let's do it. Evan Stewart, wide receiver, Oregon.
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 All right. This one's a little tough. Buffalo Bills.
Mm.
Part of me wants to go with edge because they're going to be done with Von Miller. They did bring in Javon Solomon, but that's prime DPR.
Yep.
AJ Epinesa is really at his best when he's in a rotation. He had like a strong beginning of the year, and then I think he kind of like not faded out, but like he's, he went back to that rotation level type of player. So getting someone true on the other side of my boy Gregor Rousseau would be fun.
Yep.
Part of me, I like Patrick Payton. Did he stay with Florida State?
I can't remember off the top of my head, dude.
Or was it a different Florida State edge that transferred?
I don't know. I'm definitely not looking it up. Patrick Payton. What the hell? Sean Payton? I'm not trying to look for this. What on earth? Oh, I did Payton. I'm so dumb.
Payton.
Patrick Payton. It still says Florida State.
You want to hit here? You want to hit transfer? Because I'm pretty sure he may have tried to go somewhere else because of NIL money.
Well, it says Seminoles Patrick Payton 2024 football.
Oh, here we go. After originally announcing he would enter the transfer portal, Florida State, Patrick Payton is now running it back with the Seminoles.
Because I do remember he was rumored for Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because I know he was bounced. He initially was going to bounce because he wanted a hell lot of money.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing now in college football, and it's kind of fun.
It's entertaining at the very least.
It's fun. It's literally free agency for the college football. It's great.
Yeah.
The other guy I'm thinking of is Princely. Catch me with this. I think it's Umengalang.
It's Umonmilan.
I don't know. Okay, I wrote the pronunciation down from how he said it.
Okay.
And that's how I...
Umengalang?
Umengalang. And you know what? I'm probably dead wrong.
I think he might have been like...
That's how I remember him. Maybe he was screwing around. I don't know.
Umengalang.
Also, side note, dude, I don't know if he's active anymore. Has a YouTube channel.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like Princely D1 or something. I think
bring him on.
With all that said, I think Patrick Payton was in the midst of a late breakout, and I think that breakout will continue this year for the Seminoles. I'm going to take him here for Florida State.
Go off. All right. Baltimore did a good job this year addressing some very solid positions of need with some pretty good pretty good players of value. That being said, I still think you could get some nice rotation in there with Malachi Starks. You're a BPA type of team. I don't think you can let a player who I think is top 15 slip
Oh, well, I
past
mean,
30.
dude, Marcus Williams is free agent after this year.
There's that as well. But even if you end up keeping Marcus Williams, it's hard to say no to Malachi.
They're not going to. He's going to be so expensive.
Even more to the point, I'm even saying if they disagree with what our logic says, they should
No, it's too logical. They shouldn't disagree. If they do,
right.
they're ignorant.
That's what the Ravens are not, apparently, because they get almost A+ drafts every year.
Dude, people told me I was a fool for thinking they would want to go corner. And what do they do round one?
Go corner. Well, they
To
went.
be fair, all the tackles were off the board.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think before I saw them get Roger Rosengard, I thought they should have moved up for Tyler Guyton. But they did a good job there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you went Stark.
I did. I went Malachi Starks.
That's right. Let's hope he doesn't end up like Ed Stark.
Yes. Damn, is that a Game of Thrones reference?
It is.
Yeah.
And I've watched it on and off. I never watched like fully complete season.
See,
I sometimes enjoy the episodes because the banter between characters is really fun.
I watched every episode. It's just been such a long time since I've gone through them. So I was like, really? Did you just drop I've never heard you drop a Game of Thrones reference.
Well, that's because, again, casual watcher.
Fair point. Fair point, my friend.
All right. I'm here with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm absolutely going tackle. They weren't able to do that in this draft class. They got Dominic Pooney. Let's be honest. That dude's a guard. So the question is, who? Hey, you good with pronunciations?
I was just looking for the owl. What's up?
No, you good with pronunciations? Because I'm going to need you to hit this last name.
Okay. I think it's Jonah Savignyea.
Savignyea. You know what? You said it so confidently. I believe it. Big part of, I know he's a right tackle, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, they need a right tackle.
Fine. Well, yes, but you're hoping to get that heir apparent to Trent Williams. But fun fact, Colton McKivitz is very mid, but him and Morgan did a great job this past season.
They did.
Keeping Noah.
What team are we talking about?
Arizona, the quarterback that took over for
Fifta.
Fifta. Yeah. Fifta's going to be an interesting prospect just because he's so small.
I almost said Igbenogany. That was like my gut reaction. And I was like, Igbenogany. Like, what the hell?
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with him to be that immediate starter right tackle, heir apparent, hopefully one day to Trent Williams.
Good point. Kansas City, pick 32. Won again.
Man, I am so one again. I am so happy I am not picking anymore.
Why?
Because
there's nothing to really draft for him.
Well, at this point, I'm starting to get ignorant, and I'm looking at names that I liked, but I don't think will probably be like first round talents.
Fair. For the Chiefs, though, you look at what they drafted this past year. A skinny wide receiver, essentially to be the long-term option for Hollywood, and then a swing tackle that should develop on either side, whichever one you find more valuable and whichever one he succeeds more in. Doesn't count out going after another tackle if you can pray that, you could end up getting your left tackle in Kingsley Suamatea. But I do believe that this team still could be looking for a larger boundary receiver. It's not out of the question. Alec Ayumanor,
yes,
dude. I don't know if he actually ever goes in this range, but that's the guy who got damn near 300 yards.
He took over that game against Colorado. I was watching that, and I was just like, "Who are you?" Oh, true sophomore.
Yeah, 6'2", 210. Why not take a swing on him right here? I haven't studied him in all 22 yet, so I don't know how much I truly will love him as a first-round prospect. But if you put up 300 yards damn near in a game, you have my attention and you
I
have
will
my respect.
I
You
will
have to lose
tell
it.
you that Colorado game, that was the only game I really caught of Stanford.
Yeah,
I know that may be hard to believe, the powerhouse, the Stanford Cardinals. But,
dude,
like,
we call you an
dude
analyst.
yeah, right. But, like, dude, he took over that game and was just, like, unguardable.
Yeah,
Like, he was getting separation, and even when he wasn't getting separation,
he's
he was
monster.
just making circus catches.
Yep, baller,
Dude,
baller
absolute
status.
baller.
Yeah, that's one hell of a way to end it off too. Chiefs just get
Right?
richer with this monster receiver.
Well, it isn't that, like, what the Chiefs do in the draft? They just get richer and richer and richer.
I honestly debated going after Mitchell Evans there. I will admit, if Alec Luminor wasn't there, I would probably went after Mitchell Evans, the Notre Dame tight end. I think he is
I am curious
fantastic.
about him
I,
because
I think he's fantastic.
I think he's good too. I just don't know. Like, I don't think his receiving upside is as huge as people like. I
Okay.
get Michael Mayer vibes, right?
I thought he was a better version of Michael Mayer. Like he's Michael Mayer the way that I would have wanted Michael Mayer. But I wasn't high on Michael when he came
I
out.
was. So I mean that's kind of why I'm like,
Yeah, see, there's a difference of opinion right there. It's because like you were high on Michael, I was low on Michael, so we're probably both in between. Like we both see him the same spot.
I was gonna say we literally probably see him at the same spot.
It's just the reference point is in two different spots, but it's the same person, so that's why.
Yeah, like and low key, man, this receiver class has the chance to be as like good as well. I mean, it's not gonna be this past year's.
I think it could be better in terms of the later first, like the fringe first talents, like the legit starting potential receivers. But I don't know about the depth yet. The depth might be a little bit worrisome, but the top talent worse. The mid talent might be better.
Yeah, the corner class is going to be studded.
Oh, we're going to get blessed. This is going to be another run on corners.
The defense in this class is just freaking phenomenal, I think. And this is just me looking at some of the top guys.
Yeah. Those are the guys who make the biggest differences, though. I mean, I guess you win by hitting later.
Yeah. But I mean, dude, my watch list wasn't nearly as big as it like last year as it is for this year.
I mean, I have 200 players' names already down, and I have more than 200.
I didn't count.
Huh? Yeah,
I didn't count. It just looked like hell of a lot.
I know, like straight up. I mean, I'll just score right now. It is okay, it's 200 on the dot. So,
oh wow, look at you already got a 200 big board.
I do not. I have 200 names. I have a 40 big board right now, but still,
yeah, literally, like my watch list is just like a word search, right?
Mm-hmm.
There, it's all over the place. It's like, oh, watch this guy, this guy, this guy. No rankings, no nothing. Just like, oh, this guy returned. Oh, this guy popped off.
Dude, this summer is going to be crazy for me though, because I'm going to be actually evaluating what the proper positional value is per position, per projected role. Like it's going to make my grades even more insane.
Yeah, I think this year I'm actually going to separate interior among guard and center.
The difference, like I'm going to grade the difference between each position.
Well, I mean, because this past year, I'm just so used to having like offensive tackle, interior tab, and just from a like a cosmetic standpoint, be able to go look at like who I think are slot receivers, who I think are like outside receivers. Right. It made it so easy to go through, even like slot corners, safeties.
Yeah,
I'm just like, why didn't I do this for the interior class? Instead, I got like 70 interiors all slapped on one freaking page, and I'm like,
yeah, that's fair.
Absolute hoss to go through.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is an early look at the 2025 NFL draft. Only 2 quarterbacks go. Jalen Milroe ends up not making an appearance, and that's not to crap on him. Again, we're talking potential with this cat. Like maybe he has like a Anthony Richardson-esque rise.
Potentially.
Dude, Milroe is an absolute unit.
He's a physical freak. But I mean, at the end of the day, you also have to look. There's not too many teams that are legitimately going to be looking for a quarterback.
Well, 6 of the ones that needed a quarterback
got one this year. Well,
they got one in the first 12 picks.
5 of them. One of them didn't really need one. But let's not talk about that.
One of them apparently set a quarterback for the next 15 years. So Hey, I mean, hey, Penix won't get to start till at least year 2, if Kurt doesn't get hurt.
Dude, he's supposed to sit for 4 to 5 years. Don't you know the game plan?
Dude, yeah, I went into that. Like, on a side note, hey, I'll just make a little section here
Yeah.
in my video that says Michael Penix talk.
Yeah.
So,
Welcome to Draft Bros.
The minute that they were like, "Oh, we saw Green Bay's model and liked it," and I was like, "There's a big difference in what you just did in Green Bay's model."
Yeah.
For one, Penix 24, Love 21. And even if you're like, okay, that doesn't matter much, quarterbacks do play for a longer time. Okay, fair. Green Bay, back end of the first round.
Yep. Also,
number 8.
Not 4 season-ending injuries.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that, though. I think
It's just another factor, though.
It is a factor.
Later.
So it's somewhere there in the nether. I get it, but it's not like you looked at the model, but that's not what made the model good.
Mm.
And hey, more power to you. If it works, it works. That's great. Michael Penix, fun quarterback. Almost said receiver. Fun quarterback.
Receiver.
Good talent. I felt like the better option because it sounded like the NFL really liked Penix, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like the better option was going ahead and getting more draft picks, whether it's this year or next year, because you bring in Kirk Cousins, you give him all that guaranteed money because it's a Super Bowl window.
Yeah.
Maximize that Super Bowl window by surrounding him with talent offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
You don't maximize that by getting, he's a high-end backup. Then you're already assuming the worst with Kirk Cousins.
Correct.
I'd
fire the front office right now. Yeah, honestly.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I'd get him. I mean, they already butchered it. Yeah. I'd fire the GM, not the coach.
Yeah, dude, he's been ballsy because like he's the one that did like the Kyle Pitts pick up the Bijan, like that balls to the wall type moves, and
so far they haven't paid off either though.
Well, they haven't turned into like playoff runs.
Well, they haven't even turned into high level statistical players. They're great players. They're great talent.
I think
misuse
system. I'm gonna give benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
because of Arthur. Smith.
Yeah, but still, I mean, certain players can easily outperform their system. They can at least
if you throw them the football.
That's also a quarterback problem. But you also don't get ballsy,
which is actually on the GM and the coach.
This is a GM decision. Yeah, they should have gotten a quarterback and not wait until the 3rd round that year.
Yeah, I think there must have been a massive disconnect between was it Terry Fontenot? Is that the GM?
Yeah, and Arthur Blank.
Yeah, and
Arthur Blank.
Not Blank, but
Raheem?
Arthur Smith.
Oh, and Arthur Smith.
In terms of, okay, we're going to draft this player. He's going to be so good for your system. And then you just don't utilize.
Right.
Smith just didn't utilize them well.
Yeah.
Like Bijan, I feel like it's such a perfect example.
I know. I mean, they already had Tyler Algier too. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's been very, very poor asset management by Fontenot. That's a conversation for Draft Bros. We'll have more conversations about that.
That was a fun little discourse, though, at the end of this too early 2025 video.
We're not even remotely close to it, but we're addicts. Gotta get our fix.
Yeah, right. But hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Go ahead, please hit that thumbs up. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. Hey, we don't die off in the summer. We continue producing content, so hopefully you will join us for those videos. Because hey, it's never too early for mock draft talk.
Ain't never too early. I remember that was supposed to be the name of Draft Bros.
Yeah, buddy. I suggested. I really pushed it.
Draft Bros is superior, though. It makes so much sense for us.
Yes, it does. It does. But
hey, it works.
Thanks again.
Yep.
As always, until next time, you be easier, friends. Later.